This is the Georgia Dogs Podcast on the Believe Podcast Network.
Doesn't it? It did. Wilcox with an up and out. Wide open. Touchdown. Israel Troop.
Snap to Young. Drops back. Pressure from the edges. He throws near sideline. And it's intercepted. Intercepted. Keely Ringo at the 21. Off he goes. 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Near sideline. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 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 Georgia.
Good evening, neighborhood. How about them dogs?
32, 18. Let the celebration begin.
Well, what's going on? It's welcome back. We are the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Network. Also coming at you on the video side from Brinks TV, Brinks.tv, joining me after finally completing his move back to Valdosta and as a full-time member now of the Ware County Gators football program. It's my man, Israel Troop. Troop, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? Glad to be back. I know it's been a minute since everybody's seen us, but we're back in full effect now.
Absolutely, yeah. We had to get a couple of things squared away, but this is the season 3 opener. So this is our 3rd season, Israel. Can you believe that?
Man, it's crazy. Just think it all started with a phone call.
I know. Hey, man, you wanna come on the show? Former player? Sure. I didn't know 3 seasons later you'd be sipping on a Capri Sun and chopping it up, man.
Absolutely. Somebody has pissed Mother Nature off, and it is 1,000 degrees outside. So Capri Sun is a great drink.
Yes, we definitely got that too. I think the devil definitely went down to Georgia. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
I think he took it a little too literally. So. But like I said, nonetheless, we're glad to have you. I'm enjoying the heat just as much as you are. The only good news is in a few months I'll get some snow and you won't. So
no, that's not it. That's a great thing. It's coming to you and not here.
You're jealous. I can see.
I'm not jealous.
You want to snowboard. I can see it. I can see it in your face. You want to snowboard so bad. So. But we got an action-packed show, but we are brought to you by Betonline.ag. It continues to be the number one source for all your betting needs. We've got all kinds of things happening. You got the NBA Finals. It's in Game 6. And the last time you saw this show, I predicted Warriors in 6. Could it happen? Maybe, maybe not. How do you see that one, Troop?
I don't know. I think the refs are going to let Boston win in Boston tonight. I think if Golden State wins it, it's going to be at home. But we shall see. If Clay and Steph can get hot early and they can play a little bit better defense in the first 3 quarters they did last game, I think it's going to be Warriors tonight. So we shall see. Yeah,
the NBA desperately wants this thing to go 7, so I wouldn't be surprised. And I said in the last show that I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7, but I think the Warriors can close them out in 6. NHL hockey, the Stanley Cup Finals are upon us. Colorado, I think, took a 1-0 series lead there. I think Colorado's the best team in the NHL. I think they're going to win that thing in 5 or 6. 6 at the very most.
You know, the hockey playoffs snuck up on me. I didn't realize it was so soon. I've been waiting for the College World Series to start, but it's taken 15 years for that to start.
I know. And then
I guess first pitch is tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, the dang Avalanche took care of Edmonton and swept them. I mean, the hockey players are flying. They don't take breaks though.
Yeah.
They don't take that many breaks. Like the NBA playoffs stretch so far because they take so many breaks. Hockey, they're like, nah, screw that.
Get in and get out.
They might take a travel day. That's about it.
Like one day, not 4, like the NBA does.
NBA's like, oh, you're flying from Boston to Philly, 4 days. Yeah, it happens.
Crazy.
But you got Major League Baseball you can bet on as well. The Braves are red hot, even with Ozzy Albies going down. They're red hot, winning 13 in a row. You have the latest fighting news and even next season's early NFL futures. And if you follow us on Twitter, you saw early betting lines on college football. So SEC odds and things like that. We'll get into that a little bit more in our football discussion because it's a little bit more relevant to this. But what you can do in the meantime, you can head to the website. You can use that mobile device. Sign up today. Receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get that bonus and get into the action. Bet online. It's where the game starts. Like I said, plenty of stuff to bet on. So please, please, please jump in on that action. You will not regret it. So I guess first things first with our baseball team, it was kind of a weird season, a weird finish. You somehow sneak into a regional, which making a regional is never a bad thing, especially when you take as many injuries to the bullpen that we did. But just kind of the way we fizzled out. You have a really bad opener against VCU, going down 8-1. I was kind of worried that something like that was going to happen, and it did. The runs just kept piling up. Then you get back to life a little bit against who was it? Hofstra? Yeah, Hofstra. You get like a 24-1 win over Hofstra, and then you get blown out by North Carolina, get knocked out on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. Like I said, just a weird finish, kind of like a anticlimactic finish because it didn't seem like we were really competitive in our two regional losses, and it's kind of a disappointing way to end. But again, I'll consider the season a relative success because of where we were through most of the season. I didn't think a regional was going to be possible. Going down in the first game of the SEC tournament, I was like, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, we struggled pitching. I think the guys who were on the hump, held their own for the most part, but we couldn't manufacture runs. We couldn't get people on base. We relied on the long ball. So that's tough. That's tough in this game of baseball, especially when you watch these teams who are winning. I mean, they're bunting. They got runners in scoring position. Our defense was good. I don't think defense was a problem. I think we just shot ourselves in the foot a lot, leaving runners on base and everything. So the injuries and everything, I mean, you can't really help that, but I'm looking for a better season next year. I think the season was not a bust. I just think we got some things to work on. You can't help injuries. They happen. They can definitely derail a season, especially with baseball, when you're dealing with so many guys that are down all at one time. Not like football, where you pretty much they get reps every day. Your twos do. In baseball, your twos really don't get any reps. So, I don't think it's a bust. I just think, you rebuild, get everybody healthy, and then come back with the vengeance next year.
Yeah, I mean, and we have some really good talent in the baseball system, and I think the way the draft is set up, they have to stay. Mm-hmm. So, I'm just really excited about, you get these guys some really, really good experience, some really good postseason experience, playing against some good ball clubs, trying to fight their way out of some situations on the road. But, moving forward, I think the biggest concern and the biggest offseason improvements needs to be plate approach. I think it needs to be going up there with a purpose. And, I understand that shifts and pitchers are pitching certain ways and things like that, but I just think that sometimes it seems like we're out there just swinging for the fences and trying to play guerrilla ball, and mm-hmm. I don't know that that's the best way. I don't know that you're going to get any results that way, but I think we need a new approach to hitting. And I just think we just need work in the bullpen, just general work in the bullpen. I mean, I think you always need that. I think you can always point to that and say, okay, well, this is our main goal is to get better in the bullpen. Well, that should be a focus every year because that's the hardest. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest thing to improve because it's so, it's so. What's the word I'm looking for? Fickle. Is that the right word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's just so fickle, and I just can't. I can't stress enough that relief pitching in this league is really, really important. And the SEC was an outstanding conference.
Absolutely.
And I do want to take a moment in a couple minutes to laugh at Tennessee and say I told you so. But
Yeah, absolutely. I think this off season, I think Coach Strick and his staff, get to the drawing board. All right, let's look at our depth chart. See who's coming back, who's leaving.
Right.
Guys in transfer portal if they want to leave. All right, cool. Get our guys healthy, especially our bullpen. And then we need to recruit some pitchers as well. You lose a lot just because of the draft. Guys getting drafted out of high school and things like that. So you kind of have to take that into account. But I'm looking at transfer portal as well. I'm looking for guys who are looking for a new home, who are strong, who can give you at least 5 to 6 innings strong. And then then build our relief pitching around those guys if we can get some. And when we start fall ball, if it's me, if I'm Coach Strick, if you don't put the ball in play, then you got poles.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just the point of put the ball in play. Run on third, one out, put the ball in the air, hit the ball somewhere so we can score the run, especially if the defense isn't playing close or playing in. Just little things like that to manufacture some run, learn how to bunt, hit and run. I mean, just little things like that can, get the ball rolling. That's one thing Tennessee does do well. I mean, they hit and run. They put stress on the defense. They have character issues, of course, but
they put stress on themselves.
As far as the playing baseball and manufacturing runs, I think they do a good job of stressing the defense and making them actually play ball. So I think we take a page out of their book and build around that because, I mean, Georgia's a really good baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering where we have been last year's team and now. So just one of those things, kind of get back to drawing board and see what works and tweak a couple of things and stay healthy.
I mean, it's just an ongoing process. And I think just we were so young in the mental aspect of it. I think sometimes when we'd start making errors, and you see this with teams that aren't used to being able to fight through stuff like that at such in such high pressure situations, I felt like we panicked at times too, and we tried to press, we tried to make up 8 runs in one at bat. We tried to, make up for the fact that now the bases are loaded, and we try to make plays that aren't there, and just a whole host of things. But on the flip side of that, going back to since we broached the topic of Tennessee, I've been saying it. We've had a conversation about it. We've talked about it with Vinny on Beast of the East, and certainly the last time that I spoke on it was on SEC After Dark, when we were kind of predicting where Tennessee would end up even after winning the SEC championship. And I said at some point, whether it's in the College World Series, Super Regional, or maybe even the regional, Tennessee's inability to control their emotions is going to come back and bite them, because baseball is not an overly emotional sport. It's a sport that really forces you to keep those things in check because of the certain specific fine motor things that you have to do, and hand-eye coordination and such fine-tuning in all your skills, that if you're over-emotional, when anyone's over-emotional, whether it's angry, cocky, you're trying to put on a show, you can't do the little things right. And baseball's such a little thing sport that got away from Tennessee. The kid got ejected, and I was like, as soon as he got ejected, I'm like, yeah, they're done. They're not winning this.
I've never seen anybody get ejected from a college baseball game up until that point, ever.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you think it's okay to turn around and speak to an umpire as a collegiate player in the manner in which you did goes back to the coaching staff. It's allowed. Mm-hmm. Either you're coaching it or it's allowed. One of the two. Mm-hmm. Because any other way that wouldn't happen. You don't see that happening on other ball clubs. I think there's nothing wrong with being a little bit cocky, believing in yourself, because if you don't, nobody else will.
Right.
But
that's not
there's
the
a
problem.
Point of being arrogant, and I think Tennessee got arrogant. Notre Dame took advantage of it, which is a very smart move by those guys.
They stayed within themselves.
Once homeboy got ejected, I was like, not only that, but that's a selfish move by you, because you're out the very next game, so you couldn't play till game 3.
And you're the cleanup hitter. Like, you've got to have more discipline than that.
And it was only with strike 1. Wasn't like it was a strikeout pitch. It was strike one.
Yeah. And you're going to turn around and tell the ump that he is effing unbelievable and he's effing terrible. You're going to, like, you think you're going to stay in the game with the reputation that your ball club has? Like, some of the things Tennessee did all year, I was like, that's great. This is what baseball needs. Baseball needs a little flair.
Mm-hmm.
And then they, again, they took that inch and turned it into a mile, and they just got obnoxious.
Absolutely. I think they need to be some evaluation of character. Not the product they're putting on the field, because I think the product's great. I think they have a great bullpen. They have a great hitting philosophy. The way they play defense. I mean, how hard they play. I think that's great. But they have character issues, and those character issues will get you beat. And it showed. They should be national champions this year. My opinion, should be them in Arkansas for the championship.
They are. Tennessee is
the best teams.
Tennessee's the best team in the country, talent-wise.
And they should be holding that trophy in Omaha, but they're at the house eating honey buns and popcorn, watching on TV.
Mm-hmm. Bat flipping at wiffle ball games.
Absolutely. So
yeah,
I think that's your fault. So if I were him, I might call Dr. Phil, and have him, be a therapist for my baseball team.
Paging Dr. Phil.
They're struggling big time in that area. It's bad when 98% of your game is great, but that 2% gets you deep. Yeah,
I mean that's baseball. If that 2% affects the little things that it takes the 98% to kick in, you're screwed.
Absolutely.
And you look like you've never played baseball before. I mean, Tony Vitello is such a great baseball coach. Like, as far as baseball knowledge, my God, like, he can, like, but he's the ringleader. Like, you see him doing all this stuff. He chest bumped umpires. He's been doing all this stuff. So it's not surprising. Not surprising at all. And I'm picturing this. I'm cracking up picturing the conversation between Tony Vitello and Dr. Phil. Can you imagine that? Oh, Tony, so you got some patterns here. He always says patterns.
Yeah.
I think he gets paid for every time he uses the word patterns.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it didn't go well with the new AD as well, with how everything went down too. So that evaluation meeting is going to be a lot of fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun for Tony. There's going to be some colorful words. They might need Dr. Phil to mediate it. Now, Tony, you're showing a pattern of bad behavior, and that pattern is going to get you beat. And you really need to change that pattern before your pattern leaves you on an airplane going to a different job. Did I use patterns enough?
You did.
Good.
That was good.
That was good. Yes. I'm working on my Dr. Phil. I don't use it enough. That's just what happens. I just don't use it enough. All right. So let's get the football. All right. Baseball, we know what they got. We know what they need. But it is time for a little football. So presented by Betonline.ag. Here are the over-under win totals for some of the, I guess you'd call them favorites. I don't know what you'd call them, but they picked out a select few teams, and I guess the requirement was 7.5 and above for wins. So I guess that was the cutoff point. I'd have to ask. I think Jared Wilson. I think he's the one that does these, but SEC win totals. Okay, Alabama, Georgia sitting at 10.5. That's the over/under. All right, Texas A&M 8.5. I'm not sure if that's $8.5 million for each recruit. I don't know if that's the over/under for amount that each recruit's going to get, or if it's wins. Maybe it's both. Arkansas, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and Tennessee all come in at 7.5. All right, let's start at the bottom. Tennessee, over or under?
I think I'm gonna go over. I think they win 8 this year.
I think they get 8. They're not going to get the Georgia game, but I think they get 8.
Yeah. They beat Florida. I see them beating Florida, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Kentucky's a toss-up. I think Kentucky's going to be better this year.
Mm-hmm.
Who else they got? Who else is on the side? They're definitely going to beat Vandy.
Yeah, they're going to beat Vandy. They have to play Bama. I don't know if how that game's not going to go well.
They're coming. Bama's coming off the revenge tour. We all know what happens when they lose the national championship.
They come off the revenge tour. So you think Bama's going to go over?
I think they'll go over.
They're certainly going to beat Ball State.
Poor Ball State.
I know. They play Pitt on the road.
They'll beat Pitt.
Yeah, Pitt.
Not by much.
Pitt doesn't have the Burger King hands guy.
No.
You know the commercial? They play
their defense is pretty good.
They play LSU.
They'll be better. That'll be a good game.
That will be. Missouri. They'll beat the hell out of Missouri.
They'll beat Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri's going to finish. Missouri it's got to be thankful for Vanderbilt. Otherwise, they'd finish dead last in the East this year. I was so bullish on Missouri last year with Connor Basilick, who's now at, I think, Indiana.
Yeah, they struggle. Drinkwitz is, the moxie is starting to wear off a little bit in Missouri.
Yeah. Was it ever there?
At the beginning.
Maybe a little
They
bit.
had a strong run toward the end. When they beat LSU,
Yeah.
everybody was like, ooh, this Missouri team's good. Then when everybody saw how bad LSU was, they were like, never mind.
Yeah. Kentucky, 7.5 over under.
I think they might go. I think they'll win 8.
All right, so
they'll surprise somebody.
Okay, so you got Miami of Ohio, Youngstown, Northern Illinois,
3,
Vandy,
4,
Missouri,
5,
Louisville, 6,
6.
Mississippi State.
Ooh. They might scoop that one out. 7.
Okay, so they're at 6 right now. So they need 2 wins. They need at least 2 wins out of Georgia,
Nope.
Tennessee, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Florida. They need 2 wins out of that to hit the.
They'll beat Florida. So that's 7.
I think they get Florida and South Carolina.
Yeah.
I think Mississippi State
those
is going to be good, dude. Will Rogers.
Yeah. Be better. They're going to be much better this year.
Legit. And, yeah, Georgia's got to play Mississippi State, too. That's scary. Play them late, too. It's real scary. All right, so we're saying over for that one.
Over, yeah.
Over. Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss finishes second in the West this year.
I think that's over.
They're at 7.5.
Whoa. Who's their quarterback?
It's going to be Jackson Dart, the transfer kid from USC. That's who it's going to be.
I forgot about that. They might be.
And apparently Altmaier's making a push. The guy that started in the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, that is going to be.
All right, so let's look at it. Troy, Central Arkansas, Tulsa. That's 3. Then they got. Oh wow, this is a tough schedule. They got Georgia Tech 4. That's 4.
They'll beat them.
Yeah, this is the first time they've played since I think 1946.
Dang.
Yeah, it's crazy. They have so they need 8. So that's 4. So they need 4 wins out of Kentucky, Vandy. There's one.
Win.
LSU, Auburn,
Win.
A&M.
Nope. Yes. Well, toss-up.
I think they get A&M. I think A&M's going to hit the under because of this game right here, the Ole Miss game. Bama. That Bama game, I think, will be for the West.
It's a trap. Where is it this year?
It's at Ole Miss. In Oxford.
They play well at Ole Miss now.
Yeah. And then I think they get State. I think Arkansas is a toss-up.
They beat Mississippi State. Arkansas is definitely a toss-up.
It's a toss-up. LSU's a toss-up. Those are 2 rival games for them. I'm going to say over on Ole Miss.
Really
And A&M's going to be the one that gets them over. All right, Arkansas. 7.5. Let's see.
I like them at 7.5.
Yeah, I don't know.
Feel like.
All right, so they're going to get Missouri. That's 1. Liberty 2. Auburn 3. BYU 4. Missouri State 5. Cincinnati 6. I think the rest are toss-ups. I would take the under here. I think they're going to get 6 and win a bowl game. Maybe I don't know if the bowl game counts, but
they got everybody coming. They got a quarterback coming back.
They do.
So,
South Carolina, the 2 toss-up games that's really making this difficult is South Carolina and Mississippi State. Like, I don't know how to pick those 2 because Mississippi State's going to be vastly improved, and A&M's going. A&M is who they are. I'm gonna take the under for now.
good football. Some really good football this year now.
SEC is
Just
tough,
considering
dude.
what everybody has coming back.
Yeah, SEC's
We
tough.
hadn't
bro.
heard much out of LSU. We know that Auburn doesn't have much, but
Right.
everybody else pretty much has.
Hell,
There's
Auburn's gonna
stable
finish
guys
last.
coming back.
Auburn's gonna finish last in that league in that division.
They finished last. Harson's getting fired.
Harson's gone anyway.
That is a fact.
I think it matters. He's gone. I think he's gonna leave before they fire. He's already gone. He just hasn't left yet. I mean, damn. All right, let's look at LSU over under. They're at 8.5. So we got to find 9 wins on this schedule. All right, Sam Houston, win. Appy State, win. I don't see UMass. That's a win. That's 3. I mean, we got to pick 6. I don't see 9 wins on the schedule. I don't think they beat LSU. I think LSU is going to be really good. I think they
talking about LSU.
Yeah. I think LSU is going to be good. Better than people think. I think they get Auburn. That's 4. They're not getting Ole Miss. All right. South Carolina makes 5. Arkansas makes 6. Do they beat Florida? Florida's going to be pretty good. I mean, Florida's talented. So it's not
going to be good on defense. Offensively, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to score that much. Yeah. And then they play the U. The U's the swing game. They play Florida late. That's the good news.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to take the under because I just don't know.
Let's go with under 2.
I just don't know. I think Georgia takes the over. I think Georgia wins 11. I don't see many losses on Georgia's schedule.
Who may be our toss-up game this year? I think Tennessee is a toss-up just simply because of what they got coming back. I think it's going to be a competitive game. We win, but it's going to be a lot closer than most people think.
I mean, I don't see it. Like I don't. I mean, I guess technically Oregon's a toss-up, but are they really though? Like it's Bo Nix.
Yeah,
South Carolina's early, but I mean, we got the whole damn offense coming back.
Yeah, and Washington's getting healthy.
Yeah, I mean, we could go 14 personnel.
Hartley just got a raise.
Hell yeah, he did. We could go
an extension.
14 personnel. Picture that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got Brock and Gilbert out wide. Or you get this bunch formation. You get this diamond bunch formation. Put Brock at the back point and throw him a quick screen out there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't think Auburn's a toss-up. Tennessee, Mississippi State, and Kentucky. Those are 3 tough ones. It's an easy schedule. I know I know people are going to listen to this and be like, well, it's the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast. So of course you're going to take the over. But can you objectively look at this schedule and pick out 2-3 losses?
Yeah, it's different if you got LSU and Alabama on your schedule. You know?
But we don't.
Yeah, and because we beat A&M.
Yeah,
we beat Arkansas. So
I mean,
the only two teams you got left is Alabama and LSU.
Even if we lose an SEC championship, I think we'll still hit the over.
Yeah, we still make the playoffs.
I think it's the over. I like the over there. So let's look at Bama's schedule. Bama's got I don't know who they play in the crossovers.
Bama's going to be over. They're on the revenge tour.
Yeah, they're always
History has shown when they lose the national championship game, they go berserk the next season.
Yeah.
So,
I think they lose to Texas this year.
Absolutely not. Nick Saban will not lose to another assistant other than Kirby ever again.
I think they lose to Texas. It's just going to be a perfect storm. Texas has a weak ass schedule. This is their Super Bowl. Even with that, I think they win 11. I think that's their loss. Calling it now.
When's this game being played?
September 10th, second game.
Ooh, that's early.
At DKR. No, it's at in Austin. They got so much momentum. Quinn Ewers, they finally got a quarterback. Sark's got him a quarterback. He's got a few receivers. They got the one that transferred from Bama to Texas. This is Texas's first conference game. It was funny. 12 teams from the SEC made it to the softball tournament, and Texas and Oklahoma were in the finals. And we joked that it was still an all SEC final. All the SEC teams get. It's great.
Absolutely.
I mean, so Bama. I think Bama loses to Texas. I think Bama's only two toss-up games are going to be LSU and Ole Miss. Iron Bowl is always kind of a toss-up because it's the Iron Bowl, but
absolutely.
I think they're two. I think there are three games that are concerning are LSU and Ole Miss. Ole Miss being on the road. So I think it puts a lot of pressure on them to hit the over if they lose to Texas. But I think if they lose to Texas, they'll beat the ever-living crap out of everybody else.
Absolutely.
If they don't, I think Ole Miss or LSU are going to sneak up and get them.
Mm-hmm. What was that year that Ole Miss snuck up on them? Years ago, and then Texas A&M snuck up on them with Money Manziel that year.
Yeah, that was 12 and then 14. I think 14 was the. But yeah, no, I still like the over. I think Bama's going to win. Worst case, they'll win 11. It's just a matter of if they're 11, they could win 11 and miss the SEC championship if they lose the right game.
Yeah.
If they lose the right game. Yeah, it's
a tough deal.
It is a very tough deal. So, but I thought that was interesting. So, looking at this Georgia ball club, I mean, so Todd Harley gets a raise. How freaking pumped are you on that? Like that tight end room is unreal.
I love it. He came to Ware County during our spring. I got to talk to him. I said, dude, how fun is your room? He was like, I love it. He's Georgia through and through.
Yeah.
He was there when I was there. Todd's a great guy.
Yeah, I know Todd.
I call him Coach. I call him Coach Hartley now. You got to be proper with him now. He's big time.
He is big time.
So to see that he got his raise, a much deserved raise. Assistant coach of the year. I mean, he's recruiting some of the best tight ends. He's getting tight ends into the league. He's gotten one drafted every single year he's been at Georgia. Absolutely. So you can't knock his hustle. You can't knock his work ethic. You can't knock his coaching. So well deserved. So he's going to be a hot commodity here soon. So I'm glad Georgia paid him.
I know. Somebody was going to snag him. Somebody's going to make a coordinator out of him a long, long time ago in a land far, far away at the very top of Memorial Hall. on the airways of WUOG, and I wish I had a CD with this on it. Once upon a long time ago, he was a GA he was like a student assistant for the basketball program, student manager for basketball. And he was a co-host on one of my radio shows that we had. I did the whole WUOG thing. He was on there. We called him Hitman. I don't know why. I just called him Hitman. It's hilarious. I love Todd. I love Coach Hartley. He's my guy. I wish we had a player that was worthy of his recruitment. He doesn't get up to Nashville very much, but if at all. But man, it's so good to see this, man. He's a freaking inspiration for any coach that wants to coach at that level or even higher, that you don't have to be a former player necessarily. Like, dude, when I say he grinded, man, he was like a student assistant. He held the clipboard for Coach Johnson with special teams, charted kicks and punts and things like that, snaps, because you chart things like long snaps. But he did all of that, and he went to West Virginia, coached at Marshall, coached at Miami. I mean, dude went through the ranks. Dude did everything, man. So he deserves it. He deserves it tremendously. So Coach Hartley, welcome to the big boy club.
It just shows you, if you do what you're supposed to do. I mean, keep grinding, keep working.
Mm-hmm.
Don't look for handouts, because you never look for a handout. You just kept his head down and stayed working hard. I mean, came back home. I mean, look at our tight end room. Look at what he's done. He's a precious commodity to the Georgia coaching staff.
That's right.
Now you got him, B-Mac, Searles. You got those guys back, Bobo. We got all those guys back, who kind of started the trend with Coach Rick. I mean, the sky's the limit for this Georgia football program now.
Absolutely.
Mixing the old with the new.
That's right. I love it, man. I love it. It's great. B-Mac's another one of my guys. I was there. I came for like an interim year. There was a year where the guy that did the recruiting film, back when there was things called VHS and DVDs, that we had to catalog and put in the system. And hell yeah, dude, the wall was just full of VHSs. I had those little spindle things that you stack, that you buy like 100 DVDs or CDs. Like, I had racks of those. I would get mail bins like 4 or 5 deep, just stacked full of nothing but DVDs. So I would have to go through those, make sure that I was fine tooth combing anybody that I thought was questionable in a good way. I put in the system, tagged their coach, and sometimes if I thought a kid was borderline, I'd be curious to know. I'd be curious to go back and look at the ones I kind of marked. Like there was ones I was like, maybe like a potential walk-on, but there was some that I was like, maybe potential, definitely preferred walk-on, but potential like scholarship offer. I'm wondering how many of those that I marked actually either got offers or got invited to be preferred walk-ons. I'd be curious to know, because I didn't see it through, obviously, because I left and came to Nashville. But I think that would be a cool experiment. So, but looking at the offense, I'm so excited about the talent we have coming back. I mean, you would think, conventional wisdom says you lose George Pickens, you lose Jamari Sawyer, Justin Schaefer, and you lose Zamir and James Cook. Conventional wisdom says, man, that is devastating.
Yeah,
but it's not.
Look and see what you got and what you got coming up.
Yeah, like you don't lose that many starters, because Pickens never really played.
Carriers coming back. You got a tight end room of giants. You got your 3 running backs that just came back.
McConkey.
You got so many weapons. You got a couple of recruits, and quarterback just came in, Gunnar Stockton.
Cole Spear, apparently 4.38 kid. It's crazy.
Another tight end, Speed.
Oscar Delp.
That's it. Oscar Depp. Where did I get Speed from? But yeah, Oscar Depp. Who shows
I think you said Amir
he
Speed.
can
I
definitely
think
play.
right. I think you're thinking of Amir Speed.
I think for some reason I was thinking him. But Hunter Depp. He's a what's his name? Delp.
Oscar. Yeah, Oscar Delp.
Oscar.
He's a new guy. Yeah, he does look like a totally.
He's a new guy. I've been calling. I got a receiver. His name is Alex. I've been calling him Austin for like the last 2 weeks. He just said, "Yes, sir."
He hadn't corrected you yet, has he?
Yeah, but I'm like, you look like an Austin, but your name is Alex. You know how you look at a kid, you're like, your name's not Alex. You look like an Austin. So. But yeah, Depp showed me a lot of great things in the spring game. So I mean, our offense is going to be deadly. I think our offensive line is going to be strong.
Yeah.
So.
And I think there's going to be some surprises.
Hit the over.
I love that Amarius Mims came back. That might have been the biggest. That might have been the biggest offseason reacquisition of all time.
Yeah.
He leaves, goes to Florida State, and is like, nah.
Yeah.
Coming back.
Probably walked in and saw how old it looks in there and was like, no, I'm going back home.
I'm good. He probably met Mike Norvell and was like, nah, cuz.
Yeah.
Because, Norvell, I think he's good, but, going off topic here a little bit, not to go too ADD on you guys, but Norvell, guys like Norvell, my early impressions of Napier, some of these mid-major guys, when I say act mid-major, some of the things you do at those type of programs, like a Memphis or a Raging Cajuns, Arkansas State or Cincinnati, where Butch Jones came from, those type of programs, to get hype around those programs, you need to do those extra mile type, almost cheesy thing, borderline, just borderline cheesy. And I think when you get into it, I think sometimes those guys tend to tip the scales in favor of overdoing it. Like Butch Jones was like a freaking fortune cookie of just slogans.
Yeah.
And you could tell me, at a place like Georgia, do you really need slogans at a place like Georgia?
No, I think the tradition of the program itself, sells itself.
Right? So,
the fact that you are coming to the University of Georgia, the 2022 national champs, or the 2021, however you want to say it, Florida, the University of Florida, things like that, the University of Tennessee.
They got a rich history.
So I don't think you have to, but I think as a new coach, to kind of put your stamp on the program, I think you kind of add a little bit of swag, your own swag to it.
I mean, to a certain extent, though.
You can get out of hand with it.
To a certain extent, yes.
But
the stuff they're doing on the recruiting side is awesome. Like the stuff that these programs are doing on the recruiting side, obviously it's keeping up with the times and you're doing cool things. Like I'm not referring to that, because you could I can see where people would look at some of the recruiting things that you see, the tactics and the photo shoots and the even the Brian Kelly stuff. I love to poke fun at it because he's just such an awkward person. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's standard practice, and it's actually pretty cool. That they have these type of things. But if you walked in, let's say your first day, you walk in and Coach Richt is brand new, right? Let's say you got signed in 01, right? You're part of that first class, Coach Richt's first class, right? And you walk in and he's got the game changer coordinator and all these goofy titles and all these goofy practice awards. Are you rolling your eyes? I mean, be honest. Maybe I'm being a little harsh. I don't know.
No. One thing that Georgia does it now too. Of course, they want you to be comfortable. Of course, the top guys, get the most attention, but pretty much all the coaches are themselves. There was no extra antics. You see Kirby now, in with pictures and stuff, but he does that normally. If it was really cheesy, I would think something's up.
Yeah.
That's just me because I'm a suspicious person anyway. You
Yeah.
know, and like I see you coach on the sidelines, like you're not this chipper and stuff all the time.
Like, what
I
are you
wanna
trying
see
to
the real
hide?
you know.
Yeah.
And it also goes for your support staff as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're like overzealous, hey man, this, that, and the third, that's weird to me. You know, I want everybody to be themselves.
Right.
You know, because when I skip a class or something like that, you know, I want that same chipper person that was on my recruiting visit.
Yeah.
You know, so
Hey, Israel Troop. Yeah, you missed a class. You missed sociology. You're gonna run.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're gonna be all excited to tell you. You know, it's all chipper.
Do it with a smile on your face.
So-
The person I met.
make a social media poster about it. Israel Troop, you have 28 stadiums or
Absolutely.
whatever your penalty was. I don't know.
30. It was 32
Oh, that's
on the old track stadiums.
ooh, 32. That's not good. That is not. That's not fun. So
Yeah, up and down was one.
Oh, dang. Wow. Okay. There's some things that he's doing that I just think is very Butch Jones. Because Butch Jones made it an art form to be like overzealous and over cheesy.
Yeah, but
He had no
didn't have
substance
to.
behind
I
it.
think with Napier, I think the way it was before he got there, and it was just so blah. I think he has to kind of be a little bit cheesy. You know, although like I said earlier, the program itself will sell itself. But
Well,
you
yeah,
gotta
like
think when Mullen was there, like the program, like you never saw recruiting, you never saw social media type stuff. You know,
the social media stuff's great.
You know, you never saw that. But since
Yeah.
he's been there, there's a sense of urgency to start getting that stuff out. So
yeah.
you gotta change it a little bit. But I think it'll die down. You know, after this first recruiting class kind of comes in and he gets settled in and things like that. So
Yeah.
and it actually has died down a little bit. Everything's kind of basic now. You know,
I just think that the signs of him being overzealous and over cheesy come in the categories where cheese isn't necessarily warranted. Like recruiting, yeah, you have to be. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody has to do it. There's a little bit of cheese and pizzazz and a little bit of showmanship. I get that and I appreciate that, and I think the effort's there, and I think there's some cool stuff that's being produced because of it. I just think that like naming your staff members, I just don't think that's necessary. I think the overuse of slogans, I don't think that's necessary. I think you need to have just one slogan, if any. I just, the stupid awards, the I like to practice award. What is that?
Swag.
Yeah, it's not swag at all.
Swag police, baby.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm licensed, ready to go, ready to shut down your swag.
Absolutely.
If you're not using it correct, improper use of swag. But speaking of, what do you think of, we didn't get a chance to talk about this. What do you think of the all white uniforms?
I love the all white uniforms.
Like,
I wish I have a good feel. I know Coach Kirby Smart said that we were not going to wear those. I have a good feeling we're going to bust those bad boys out. You don't just make those for shits and giggles.
We should out Oregon.
I think.
Wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, think about it. They have all the numbers because obviously all the kids wear them. So there's a reason why that's the way it is.
Those helmets are sick, dude. Like if those became our regular helmets, I would not.
The all white joints are legit.
Oh my god!
Think about this. I'm thinking about just all the combinations you can make.
Yeah.
Even if we went back to the black pants with the all black, all white, all red. Well, all red's kind of.
I'm not. That's very FCS.
You could see it, but red jersey, white pants.
The white on red is
shoes,
ridiculous.
With the white hat, I can see that.
Yeah.
Black and red, I can see that. White with the black, I can see that. Just kind of mix and match everything. That would be fire. Not even gonna lie.
Dude. Screw tradition. I know that sounds odd. But I think if you're going to modernize one thing and kind of create a new tradition, I think it's the uniforms. I think it's the uniforms. Like, what's wrong with?
Yeah.
We're not going out of our color scheme.
No, I'm all for tradition, but I'm also for busting out all white joints too.
Yeah, we haven't got rid of the G, right? That's the only traditional part of our uniforms that I think needs to be a part of it is the G, which will obviously be a part of it.
Yeah,
but other than that,
bulldog. I mean, that's not tradition. That's not the traditional bulldog head. If you want to talk about tradition,
it's not. But that shouldn't be on the uniforms. That should just be on the gear.
So, I mean, them all white joints have to be worn. I don't know when.
But the triple stripe, it's that's the move, right?
Absolutely.
That is the move. So, 13 Georgia players are named Athlon Sports preseason All SEC.
That's great. And 2 of our former dogs are AFL. I forget what list they were made, but Toby and Bellamy were both named to the AFL, I guess, all something team today.
USFL?
Or this weekend. That's it, USFL.
Bellamy's a beast, dude. Bellamy's probably the MVP of the USFL. That dude is ridiculous.
Him and Toby, for Toby to be that big,
yeah,
he was big at Georgia, but for him to be bigger now and the move that he's still moving is absolutely impressive. So congratulations to those guys as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, USFL, dude. The new, I finally picked a team, sort of. I haven't really watched a whole lot, but every time I turn on the New Orleans, I don't even know their mascot. The New Orleans team. I got to know this stuff now because that's going to be my team. The title, I don't know what their name is. The New Orleans team. I'm drawing a blank here, but that's my new favorite team. Breakers, the New Orleans Breakers. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. I think that's my team. I think that's good. Just watching them get after it. I'm just like, holy cow, dude.
Yeah, I think this league's going to take off. I think this year was kind of a trial run. But I think it drew a lot of excitement, considering, all right, college just got over, NFL just got over. Now this league, the XFL is about to come back. So, I mean, you're about to have football all year round.
Yeah, I think they need to find a way to pay quarterbacks. If they can find a way to pay quarterbacks, they'll be really good. Really good.
I think Johnny Manziel's going to make a return next year. Just listen.
Him and Antonio
He's been balling that little arena league.
The fan-made football or something like that. Isn't that what that's called? Fan-controlled football.
Got to make a comeback too.
That's right. Antonio Brown. Yeah. T.O. coming in the USFL at age 52.
Absolutely. Breaking people off.
Yeah.
Looking like a machine.
God. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, as we progress through the summer, we'll have more time for season previews and really just kind of breaking things down, breaking the schedule down. We'll have some guests based on the schedule. We'll have Vinny on at some point, or actually we'll just talk Georgia, Kentucky on Beast of the East one day, and we'll just kind of air that in place of one of our shows. But what I want to get to now, because we're about halfway through June, is recruiting. Huge commitment today. A.J. Harris, number 1 ranked player in the state of Alabama. His commitment photo has him posing in a throne in the aforementioned all whites. Mm-hmm. Big pickup here for A.J. Harris coming to Georgia, committed to the G. He is a 6'1", 185-pound corner. Dude just leaps off the page at you. What do you see in this kid? Like, I think he can help us. I think he can help us day one. He's that kind of player.
He's a hellified athlete. I know that. To steal him away away from Alabama when you got two powerhouses over there. Well, one and a third over in Alabama is real huge. So it also says Georgia has the best defensive staff in the nation.
Right.
You got a corners coach who's really good. You got two secondary guys in Muschamp and Kirby on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw Sheldon Dawson. Congratulations to my boy Sheldon for coming back. He's going to be an analyst for us as well.
Your boy. Forgot about Sheldon Dawson.
Yeah, that's awesome news for him.
That's a name I haven't heard.
Huge pickup.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a name I haven't heard in a while.
So I mean, that's huge. Our secondary is going to be good. They're going to be good for a long time too.
They really are. And
Georgia has a knack for putting defensive backs in the NFL.
They've done pretty good at that. I think not saying that PFF is some great organization, but I think some of the highest rated corners last season were all Georgia guys. Tyson Campbell, Eric Stokes, those guys have been just dominant in the league. Like Stokes for the Packers, man, he's been like, there's a reason why they've gone back to the well, the Georgia well. There is an absolute reason. And it's because Stokes lit it up there. They're like, man, we got to get some more people off this defense. And they did. They got two. Apparently Quay Walker's making quite an impression in camp. But going back to A.J. Harris, who his name is Aaron Joshua Harris, what I really like about him is he's physical. He's not. He comes up and he's in run support, and he's going to hit you, and he's going to tell you about it. And he's very he's just kind of like that energy guy that you need. So I'm very, very excited about that. What's the kid's name that we got from? He was a Penn State commit. Why am I drawing a blank on him?
I just saw that the other day.
Like they're pissed about it. He's an offensive lineman. Can I think of his name to save? Joshua Miller. Joshua Miller.
I saw him tweet the other day.
Yeah, Joshua Miller. Yeah, from Life Christian Academy in Chester, Virginia. Penn State commit for the longest time. Flipped on his visit to Athens. He is a 6'6", 325-pound tackle. And, man, is he impressive.
This town is way more fun than wherever Penn State is.
State College? Yeah. No, thank you.
Never been there, but it doesn't sound very enticing.
No. But, no. Played right tackle in high school, though. They must have been loaded. Good Lord, this guy's a beast. These stadiums they're playing in. Virginia, private school Virginia football. It's like rec league. Rec league. These stands, man. I'm watching his highlights right now. Pretty good. Make good feet. People that are 6'6", 325 pounds as juniors in high school don't usually move well. You know?
Absolutely. But guess what? He does.
We have a kid that's like that.
Down south.
Yeah. He decided he wanted no part of that Penn State. He wants that good weather, wants that Athens. He wants that Athens vibe. I don't blame him. So 2 really massive commitments. Are we getting Arch Manning? I mean,
probably not.
Yeah, I know.
I think he's going to go to Texas.
It's going to be hard to beat Texas.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to Texas. Sarkisian is the quarterback whisperer.
He is.
So,
and they can offer him more NIL money, probably. Because they have more, right? They're all the oil stuff.
Yep.
But Munkin is a NFL guy. Well, I guess so is Sark. I guess the key is like some of the relationships. Like is Buster Buster keeps getting named as being one of the key pieces of his recruitment. Is that going to be enough?
I don't know. I'm telling you right now, Sark has. I think the way Sark comes across, he comes across as I really like this dude, which he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
So as a quarterback, quarterbacks, they have to like their coach in order to even remotely think about going to school. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
That his family's not a big fan where he goes. How Archie was with his boys. You know what I mean?
He's going to let Arch make the decision. Cooper's going to do the same. His dad, Arch's dad. You got to think that Uncle Peyton is like, now, I'm not wearing red and black, Arch. All right. Got to stay in the orange family at least.
Looking hard.
It's just don't wear that burnt orange, Arch. Come on, Arch. Come to Georgia. You know you want to. But Justice Haynes was also on the visit. Jalen Hale, TJ Shanahan were all there with Arch. Pierce Spurlin, Lawson Lucky, Raymond Cottrell, Gabriel Harris. Lawson Lucky is a legacy. They were all there. AJ Harris was there, Caleb Downs, Chris Peel. So, like, maybe the pressure that those guys, some of the, like, Spurlin, Lucky, Cottrell, AJ Harris now, those guys are commits. Maybe they put a little pressure on Arch. I don't know. Justice Haynes is a legacy.
Caleb does. Caleb Downs is legit. Let me tell you that young man can play football. I've seen Justice Hayes run, and that boy is the truth.
He's a Buford kid.
And he also plays baseball. He's really good at that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Jalen Hale out of Longview, Texas. But yeah, I mean, I think, you look at those and again, Jamal Jarrett comes in as a huge defensive tackle. I think you got to hope you land that. You got to keep that ball rolling with Trey Scott. Maybe Trey Scott's the next to get a big extension. C.J. Allen, Damon Wilson. They came that same week. They had a really big list of visitors that first week of June. So, that was obviously probably by design.
You get all the big time recruits there at one time, so they get to know each other. They get to talking.
Yeah.
Hey man, what you thinking? What you like? That's very smart planning by the recruiting coordinators there.
Yeah. Now, I'll admit,
a woman did that. A woman designed that.
Oh, you already know. You already know that Angela Kirkpatrick was all over that.
Yeah. No male on that recruiting side came up with that idea. A woman did that.
I don't think we have any. I think we have one guy that's a recruiting guy. Now. Like, it's a totally different. It's a totally different.
Can we get all these recruits here at one time? Angela, I got it. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, just next. Next. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I'll admit, I haven't kept up with recruiting as much as I usually do. So the ones that are visiting, I have no clue. But
absolutely,
they all seem important.
And we've been working.
Yeah, we've been doing this little thing called coaching, and trying not to.
This time of year is a little bit okay. Like when the season starts, is busy, but it's pretty much scheduled. But summertime is like busy because you're going places all the time. It's not like you just got practice and you go home.
Right.
And the devil's knocking on everybody's door, so there's that too.
Hey guys, it's not hot enough.
Want to come outside? No.
Troop, come out and play.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. But anyway, as we wrap this thing up, as we wrap up our season 3 debut, our season 3. I don't know what you call it. Premiere, season 3 premiere, I guess that's what it's called. As we wrap this thing up, speaking of premieres, Anthony Edwards got his acting debut in Adam Sandler's new movie Hustle on Netflix. So go check that out, Georgia fans. Go check out our basketball star. Basketball guys are making waves in Hollywood, landing in big time movies. So happy for that guy. Maybe these two that you see on your screen before you will be on the big screen. Did you see? I don't know if it's been a while, I think, but I don't know if you saw the NFL shows on our network got picked up by Sirius.
I did.
They run on the Sirius app. So yeah, I think that's a big deal. But if you don't follow us on social media, please do. You won't be sorry. Our boy, got to give a shout out to Vinny Hardy. He made a list of best college football podcasts. It was a comprehensive list of all the college football shows by school. He is representing well with Believe in Kentucky. DGD finished in the top spot for Georgia. So I guess season 3 is going to mean that we're coming after him. We're coming for that top spot. And my man Stephen Willis got the nod for Ole Miss with his Locked On Ole Miss. So that was good.
Nice.
So, but like I said, if you don't follow us on social media, please do. Troop, you're at TroopStar28. It's a great follow. You're more active than I am on here. I'm trying to get more active. I'm trying to tweet more, but it's man, I love scrolling through the feed and I see your name pop up. I'm like, okay, here we go. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's either funny or informative, one of the two.
I mean,
sometimes serious, just depends on what it is.
Occasionally serious, yeah, but a lot of times informative. Well, your serious ones are informative. Like, you're usually like echoing somebody's really good point. But it's a fun follow. I'm getting more fun as we go, so that's good. And you should really follow us. You should really follow at Believe in Dogs on Twitter. There's some big things in the offing for Ravon Sports. I think there's some things happening in the background there that's going to be really, really cool. So hopefully that'll be a budding partnership maybe. So Huddle Beta, maybe Huddle can, since we're coaches. But see, you've been looking at some of the same stuff I've been looking at because I saw some things that you've retweeted. I'm like, damn, I was just looking at that today, and I didn't even know you retweeted it. So
minds think alike.
They do. So
that's why we're buds.
That's why we are buds. Bud. So follow TroopStar28. Follow at Coach Burton 36 at Believe in Dogs. Coach Corey Burton on Instagram. TroopStar28 on Instagram as well. I got to figure out Instagram. That's the one I got to conquer. I got to figure out like what makes a really good post on Instagram. That's the one. If I can conquer that, and then Sirius just needs to go ahead and pick up all the college shows too.
There you go.
Because if we
really be rolling,
yeah, then we'll take the top spot. Because like if DGD's not on Sirius and we are, you already know. But anyway, I digress. We like I said, we are the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast. This is the season 3 premiere. We hope you stick around for many seasons to come. For Israel Troop, I'm Corey Burton. We are the Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast, brought to you by Betonline.ag, as seen on Brinks.tv. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week. Beat the heat, folks. And as always, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
This is Believe in Georgia Dogs podcast on the Believe Podcast Network.